Hi Star Family, welcome to the exclusive part of Muse Urania transiting Aquarius. I decided to give a little bit access of some of the teaching of those muses and goddesses energy because I have a lot of questions. People are looking into their charts, seeing those positions, and I want to give them some type of insight about what those muses or what those goddesses are teaching us. So I already have the signs for the piles. What happened is that I recorded the shuffling and then I pressed delete instead of moving on to record the next part. So I apologize for this. This is what we have. I'm going to show it to you right now. So pile number 1, we have Libra, Scorpio, Pisces, Capricorn. Then we have pile number 2, Sagittarius, Cancer, Leo, Gemini. Pile number 3, Aries, Aquarius, Taurus, and Virgo. I suggest that you watch both your natal placements of Western astrology, more of your physical reality, to get some of the insights of this transit. But as far as the energy work, we're working more with the draconic placement in 2025 because we're working through the emotional layer of body. We're connecting more with the astral body and everything that is needs to be worked through there. So some of you, if you are new to the subscription and you don't know how to find your draconic placement for whatever placement, okay, I'm going to link here the YouTube gathering video where I have the tutorial. All right, let's move forward with those messages. I'm excited. Hi, pile number 1. Welcome to your messages to activate your psychic gifts with Muse Urania. If you're here, that means you have Muse Urania either in Aquarius, Scorpio, Pisces, or Capricorn. You have the beautiful Canary spirit energy, so sing your own song. That's very much in alignment with what was shared in the collective reading, knowing that there is displacement of Pluto in some degrees of Aquarius that are very much about learning the law of resonance, really mastering your vibration. It feels, I erased by mistake the part where I was shuffling everything, but as I was doing this card kept on moving, and I was like, there was something about the gift of psychometry, like moving objects or also reading objects. There was something about how much for you, pile number 1, there was activation of your auric field and how it would move your reality. So very exciting. Let's see how that unfolds with the cards. Okay, so let's get some messages to support pile number 1 to activate their psychic gift. Any details about those psychic gifts in particular are welcome. Okay, wow. Okay, and straight, the heart of the sky. Wow, that really feels like the Muse Urania herself. There is a divine connection between you and the stars. There could be a specific alignment with a star constellation. I did pick the Starseed deck that I have, so there could be a specific connection that you have. I'm just being reminded, you know, some degrees of Pisces, there is Fomalhaut. There is this royal star. There is also through Scorpio and Taurus. A lot of psychic downloads here, a lot of spiritual creativity. Wow, this is interesting. I did not expect this. So some of you, there might be the Muse Urania that is activated through those royal stars. Okay? Wow, powerful. All right, let's see what else. You are supported for some type of creativity because this is very psychic. This is very spiritual. You are here to express a very spiritual form of living. That's what I'm hearing. And that, you know, let's see if we have details about those gifts. Astrology definitely could be one of them, even though we're working also with Muse Urania. But yeah, there's something here. Wow, the inner worlds. Your external world is a reflection of your inner world. pile number one, I feel that part of your psychic gift is also a strong manifestation power. There's something about how you mastering your vibration. Look, there's a flute here. I think it's a flute, yes, or clarinet. But there is an instrument. You mastering your vibration has, first of all, strong support from some of the royal stars, okay? But also this inner world that you're nurturing is having such an impact on your aura. Because through your aura, it's almost like you have this vessel, your physical body, and the essence of source, of the galaxy, of the cosmos, of the universe, God, coming through you, okay? As you harness it through your body in that first layer of expression, it seems it activates more and more, which is your aura, this egg, shape around you that's invisible, and yet that could be felt. Okay, this is how we feel each other. And some people, we feel more. So there's something also for you as far as your aura, your gift is maybe moving people, moving spirits, affecting people into diving into their spiritual realm, into their inner world. I have to say, I have no idea where all this is coming from. I'm just like, wow. Okay. Wow, look at this, the cave. Retreat, time out, self-care, slow down. Such beautiful. So part of your gift, I told you, it's like your aura summons this type of inner activation, a requirement to look within the self, to connect to God, source, spirit, plus those two royal star placement activation. And this is almost like whatever is going to be this way of living that is very much yours. It's meant to touch people's soul, to move more with mindfulness, with more love, with more patience, and finding their connection back home to their heart, to their soul. Wow. And I feel like this is why when I was shuffling the zodiac signs, and that card kept on moving, like you move. That's part of your gift is I know psychometry is reading through the hands through objects, but as far as moving object, moving energy, there's something about you moving energy, okay? Can't remember if there's a specific word for it. So let's get some more details, because what I'm curious for you, pile number one, is how you can support this activation. First the cards came forward very fast when I said that, so I'm not gonna try to venture and imagine. Let's see, okay? Wow, the Five of Pentacles and the King of Cups. I feel that some of you, it's through whatever you felt you were missing. Maybe the love that you were missing or craving, the sense of belonging that you were craving, okay? And yet this very nurturing component about your soul, about your spirit, that made you build up a certain life, a certain way of relating. Maybe it's your desire to feel loved, belonging, like accepted. It made you go within. I really feel like part of your psyche gift is this inner reflection process that you had to go through yourself. And as a result, you might not realize, but that's what it demands vibrationally when people connect with you. And of course, that means that some people will be attracted and some will be repelled. But that's something, if you are still worried or concerned, or, you know, thinking about what others think of you or being accepted by others, please let go of it, because you have such this beautiful aura to move people into greater awakening of them to themselves. It's a gift. So be comfortable with being accepted and sometimes not. We're going to get some details as far as this, because I feel like the energy work, because there is going to be a retrograde. And when there is a retrograde, that means, and I looked at the degrees where this retrograde is going to go. So we're really going to go all the way mid 16 degrees of Aquarius, and then review back almost to the beginning, 3 degrees, okay, where Pluto is going to be. So we're really starting to review more of this law of vibration, how to feel unity with others, finding the philosophy of life, and being reborn through the sacred process of learning about vibration, learning that what we think and feel creates a field of reality. It creates like some of the matrix fiber of the reality we experience. And for you, I feel there is something about, you know, just like a singer, an artist, the only shadow that I could see from the invitation of this retrograde would be to worry, to retreat, or feeling like rejected if people don't resonate with your spirit, with your soul, okay? So how can we support you, pile number 1, through this process of really harnessing this vibration that is meant to move a lot of people? So Ace of Wands in reverse, that could be in the chakra line. This is about inspiration, staying inspired. I'm going to keep it upright. So for you, what is going to matter is to stay inspired. And how do you stay inspired, pile number 1? You stay in touch with spirit. I saw the light here. Oof, I get chills just thinking about my words. Okay, that's interesting. That might be something also. You're highly sensitive, like thinking of certain things, like really kind of almost tickles your heart, tickles your soul, start to give you goosebumps everywhere. When I saw the light of the sun, I saw the yellow of this bird, and this is your connection to spirit. That's all you need to nurture. You're going to stay inspired, because inspired means in spirit, inspiration, okay? Some of you may have not known me at the time where I was personal training, but my brand name was Inspirate Coaching, and it was spelled inspired and then the 8, so Inspirate. Yeah, I feel like I want to share this little story. Some of you know me from there, from then. Then we have the Wheel of Fortune, or the Wheel of the Year. Okay, it also came reversed. This is Jupiter's energy, and that means like that's your momentum forward. Okay, the more you connect with spirit, the more luck and momentum to your vibration you bring. Okay, and that's going to be important. I'm going to ask, what type of frequencies can we bring? Energy work. So the ones that are here for pile 1, especially the energy work. Remember, for energy work, go for your draconic placement, you guys. What type of frequency? The 8 of Cups. Removing something in the, I heard it, the light body. Okay, so we're going to work with the light body. That is part of working with the quantum fascia. Okay, I'm going to ask you to use as a mudra your draconic placement of Muse Urania. So if it's Libra, this is going to be your index as well as Scorpio. If it is going to be Pisces, this is going to be your middle finger. And if it's going to be Capricorn, it's going to be the middle of your palm. Okay? And then as a mantra, let's see. Is there a specific mantra? There's two here. So we have the Emperor. Very interesting, because that's Aries energy. That's connected to the lungs. Very important that you do breath work, pile number 1. So use breath work through this frequency. And then we have the Knight of Pentacles. There's something about patience. Let me see. Be patient. Be patient. Be patient with yourself. We'll pull another card. And the 8 of Swords. You know, with the 8 of Swords and this and then the light, I am going to invite you to work with the mantra that I use for the soul retrieval. The first version, I was singing it. I have 2 versions of the soul retrieval, and one I decided to remove it, and I added certain music engineering because I received some upgrades, okay? But there is the soul retrieval mantra that I'm going to list down below for you, listening to the light body and making sure you do some breath work. So through this type of energy work, pile number 1, it's going to help you stay inspired. It's going to help you cater for this very specific, I almost feel like in this cave of yours, there is the reverb of like the whole cosmos. You are the cosmos. You are the universe. You bring, that's part of your psychic abilities, is to move people closer to God, source, okay? To move closer home to themselves. And that's beautiful. So that's what I have for you, my dear pile number 1. Please let me know if that's you. You can drop me any bird, pile number 1. I'll know it's you. And let me know how that energy work feels when you try it. Namaste. Hi, pile number 2. Welcome to your messages from Muse Urania, so we can activate and know more about your psychic gifts. You have the Scarab Beetle Spirit. Magic works through you as an energy card. So as I was getting ready, I actually felt a lot of magnetism around me, like like magic. Let's see. If you're here, that means you have Muse Urania in Sagittarius, Cancer, Leo, or Gemini. Let's look at your cards. What are the psychic gifts of pile number 2 and the guidance to awaken them, to keep them sparked up, alive, vibrant? Let's see what, I feel like I want to pull a little bit more before. Okay, a little bit different than pile number 1. Okay, and I'm gonna have this. It's interesting. I'm feeling as if there's like this need for you, pile number 2, to have specific elements brought together. Oh, you know what? Pile number 2, just like a potion, just like a magic recipe potion. Certain elements need to be brought together for your psychic gifts to awaken. Wow, this is okay. Love it. Love it. All right, let's see what we have. First, we have the gateway. Open doors, opportunities, and right timing. Wow. But you see here, there is something about right timing. So there's something about, you know, when you're working with gateways and doors and opportunities, it's connected to your frequency creating this. Okay, so there's something beautiful. I almost can't stop staring at this gate. And what I find interesting is because when I said this, I started looking at the stones, and it reminded me of the henge stones. You know, when there's a specific alignment of the sun between the stones that creates the sun coming through. Again, something that is unique at a specific timing. And some of the cards in this deck, when they're representing those stones, they have the message about the voice, the singing voice, the power of your voice. And that means through your voice, your vibration. Okay, all right. But remember, we need more elements together. So what else do we have? Oh, you're not gonna believe. A bird now. The hummingbird, and not any bird. And there is this energy of the full moon. There might be something about you working around the cycles of the moon that are part of your psychic, awakening your psychic gifts. You know, with the new moon, there's this new intention. And this is why I am so dedicated, devoted to what I call the cosmic dance, which is the dance between the sun and the moon that unveils the third eye, that helps with the inner sight. And that's why I do those new moon readings, full moon readings, where I talk about the collective intention and what we're illuminating 14 days later. That seems to be very important, because as you do this, as you allow yourself to dance, fly, navigate the cycles of, again, we're working with Muse Urania, so she is about astrology. So working with the cycle of the cosmos, you start to open up. I have the elements needed to open up to the right opportunity, to the door, the gateway of whatever is your intention. And then what do we have? Gratitude. Oh, of course. Universal love shines through the miracles of life all around you. Wow. Okay. Pile number 2. Part of your psychic gift is to open up new timelines, new doorways through the power of your voice, but not only the voice, but the voice that says thank you, that pays it forward, that has grace and gratitude for the present moment. I watched a hummingbird documentary. I wish I remember. I don't know how this document met me halfway. But I remember how I thought the hummingbird's life was so hard because it expended so much energy and it needed to feed itself so often. It could only, keep its energy, like after 15 minutes, it would need to move again to make sure it was finding some nectar. And it had also wonderful abilities to remember the exact places where it found nectar, so it wouldn't spend unnecessary effort or energy into going into the same flowers. It would remember where it got its nectar, which is an incredible memory, but also a lot of energy expenditure. So there's something here, when we're working with magic, where we're working with source, it seems that being patient, being grateful for what is, and having a very keen awareness of your own energy expenditure and working with the cycle of the moon and not rushing things are part of activating your gift of tapping into the very, the perfect right time for an opportunity to lead to this effect. Just like a magic potion, it requires so many elements to manifest this entrance, to manifest this opening. So here I'm seeing that you honoring the great energy that you're able to channel, but understanding also how energy costing it can be. That means like being aware of your nervous system and how much you need rest. And through the process, refilling yourself with gratitude. I feel like I already know. I already know your energy work here, pile number 2. It's very, very powerful, okay? But I'm going to first, before deep diving, we're going to get some cards. When I picked the deck, this one stayed down and I want to look at it. That's usually when you're working with tarot cards. The one below is the shadow. So let's see if there's the shadow. Oh, the 8 of Cups in reversed. You have to watch out You know, it's interesting because this is removing something emotional here, walking away from something emotional. And what I'm receiving for you, pile number 2, it's very important as you walk, as you work through the cycles of the sun and the moon, so especially the moon cycles, you're called to unravel. Remember, like unveiling your inner side. And as you unveil, you're able to create that energy that opens up. And that's why I was telling you, I felt a lot of magnetism. So you can hold a lot of energy. But you got to make sure that through the cycles, whatever needs to be removed and walked away from is removed and walked away from. So there's a certain respect, just like if you were to do a recipe, okay, or a potion. When we talk about cooking, it's easier. Okay, so we're trying a recipe and we have all the ingredients and it doesn't pan out as we thought it would. It's not exact, or there's something, it's not to our taste or whatever. There's certain ingredients, there's certain amounts of certain measures of ingredients. So you're going to be removing maybe certain ingredients, adding certain ingredients, or changing the ratio of certain ingredients. And I feel like this is the type of awareness that your psychic gifts require. A little bit of precision about the things that work for you and the things that don't. I'm feeling especially with your nervous system, and it could even go to the point of something as basic as your level of hydration in your physical body. Like remember, like having the sensitivity, this type of food, like maybe some of you, you're gluten intolerant, or you have a sensitivity to certain foods. And it's not like you would go and rush to the hospital, but it irritates your gut or irritates your nose. You get congested, and yet you keep on eating it. That's something that I'm feeling for you, is that it's very physical because you're the vessel for that magic. So being very keenly aware of how you respond to other energy, and that means your environment's energy, your food's energy, your home's energy, is part of the recipe. Okay? Wow. And I can see how it could be tiring, like just saying all this and sharing all this, but it's a practice. It's like having the awareness of what works for you and what lets the flow of the universe go through you. Because once you do this, this is the beauty it creates, like one of a kind type of energy, one of a moment, like once in a blue moon, once in, a lifetime. I don't know why I said lifetime. It was I feel like some of you, you're meant to experience something that is like so rare, once in a lifetime opportunity. Yeah. Ooh, okay. The Knight of Cups. A lot of cups here. Your emotions. You see how here we have like such cloud in the darkness, and here the light brings some clarity. Yeah. There's a healing process, because remember, again, we're unveiling. So as you unveil and activate more of your inner sides, you start having this powerful third eye, okay? You're able to see more truly, to see maybe also yourself more truly, your potential more truly. But it seems that we need to work on removing some of those layers, okay? Some of those layers of congestion. And then we have the Lovers. Very important for you to have yin-yang balance. Yeah. Yin-yang energy, very much required in this process for you. What else can we share with pile number 2 as far as their psychic gift? Can we see, like, can we get a little bit, okay, I'm curious because I got a lot of information that I'm keeping for the end as far as the energy work. But I want to know a little bit about this once in a lifetime opportunity. Okay, what type of opportunity is pile number 2 meant to open through their magic, through their vibration, through I'm hearing what's charted in the sky for you. This is something that is in your chart that wants to be activated, that requires you to have this awareness of the magic that wants to flow through you. We'll have the energy work that supports you, but let's look at this specific opportunity. Okay, very interesting because we have some cards here with the 5 of Cups and the 3 of Swords. Again, an energy that bridge. Okay, I feel that some of you, it's in comparison to everything you've experienced thus far. A lot of things that created, you know, being disillusioned, disenchanted, you know, having higher expectations and it did not come true. You know, maybe broken dreams I'm hearing, especially broken relationships. Okay, so coming from this space, like all of the things that didn't turn out to what your heart thought was expected. Take all of this and almost like put it like all reverse, like the exact thing that you wanted and you could feel your heart wanted manifested. It might have not been with the right people, the right partner, the right environment, the right, you know, whoever was part of this opportunity. And that's what you're manifesting is something that is, you remember how there's a lot of cups, a lot of emotional desire that wants to come through. Things that are on the opposite of breaking your heart that are actually supportive of you. But it comes from feeling the gratitude of the experience of the things that did not work out as your heart hoped at the time, okay? And it's almost like, you know, imagine like you were about to get married and you thought like this was the one or whatever, and things doesn't happen. You don't get married, or some of you were engaged and you break up the engagement, or the person breaks up the engagement, whatever is the situation. But it seems like whatever was part of the emotional pattern, okay? Because remember, you're working with a lot of energy. Whatever you were rehearsing in the astral body was not in alignment with the right opportunity to give you exactly what you wanted, what you projected. Maybe you projected expectation on a certain relationship, on a certain job, on a certain home location. That's what is being reversed. And it seems like because we are Earth School, we are here to work through and transcend duality. Duality helps us in knowing what we want through also knowing what we don't want. Okay, so I feel like this is what we're working with for you. You have a powerful gift of manifestation, but it's going to come through transcending or alchemizing also your contrasted experience. Okay, I want to get more cards. I don't know why I put, oh, okay, because the cards are coming through another deck. Okay, all right. There. Then we have the lower world and the ancient ones. Okay, so you're here. Okay, pile number 2. Your magic is to learn how to create, like learn the law of attraction. You're working with the law of attraction. It's very much helping you to purge in your nervous system the old patterns or experiences, outcome of your old matrix. You are highly supported by your ancient guidance, and what I mean, the past lifetimes, but also what you have learned from going within, And as a result, part of your psychic gift is to open gateways, doorways, the right timing for the opportunity of things that are dear to your heart. Now remember, there is something about time and the right recipe and the right elements. So it's going to be important for you to let yourself work through this in the divine timing that is required. So there was a lot of ways that I could see how we could work energetically with this. But because of the lower world and maybe removing some of the things from the past and how magnetic your pile feels, we're going to work with the law of attraction and sacred union, okay? And I'm going to ask you to work with your gratitude mantra from your Chiron placement. I'm going to ask you to work with your Western Chiron placement because there's so much about how you have felt towards the outcome. Yes, there's a lot of emotions, but I feel that it's because you're hyper focused on what is, It's almost like instead of like working with the recipe, you're working with like, oh, but the list said this. But really you need to work with what it feels. So I feel like what we want to remove is the hyper focus on what has been. So it's going to be the law of attraction frequency that works a lot with removing some of the old programs, and the Chiron mantra that you have for your Western placement, okay? And for the mudra, you're going to use, because you're here for your draconic energy work, Sagittarius is the palm, Cancer and Gemini is your thumb, and Leo is your pinky. That's what I have for you, my dear pile number 2. Have fun and be patient with the process. This is a long transit. There is a retrograde, so we're reviewing more and more how to work with those psychic gifts. But look at how powerful to be able to work with such magnetism to create such a moment to remember. Okay, so know that even if you were, example, like planning a party that you want to like always remember, a wedding or whatever, it takes a lot of energy and time and well thought actions. So be patient with yourself because you have so much magic that wants to come through you, flow through you, and manifest this event that is once in a lifetime moment. Bye. Hi, pile number 3. Welcome to your Muse Urania messages so we can activate your psychic gifts. So you have the Dragonfly spirit with truth transcends illusion. Beautiful synchronicity that we saw with the collective reading, with the 222, now number 22. Maybe there's something about you being able to have such a powerful effect of synchronization on this reality. Yeah, that could be something around this. So if you're here, that means you have Muse Urania in Aries, Aquarius, Taurus, or Virgo. So let's look at your messages. Let's see. So for pile number 3, activating their psychic gifts, powers. Okay, and I feel... Okay, wow, 2 and 2. Wow. That's interesting. Again, see? It's like influencing your reality. How do you do this? Okay, let's see. Wow. 2 powerful birds here. Eagle and owl. You know what I feel here? That with the eagle, I don't know why, this energy of precision, having a very, like the eagle eye, because maybe of the power of the sight, okay? And here, the sight of what others don't see, okay? Nocturnal, There's something about you being able to sense and thus see what others don't, that make you have this ability to shift, shape shift. That's the power. Shape shifting your reality. Synchronize it to your desire. Wow. Align things almost to the, well, yeah, to the extension of affecting matter. You saw it, like the cards. Like I had planned 1 and 1. You went 2 and 2 to go into 22. Okay. Then we have patience and strength. Very interesting. Be patient and allow destiny to unfold at its own pace. Okay. And strength. You are being guided by the cosmos. Stay strong. A positive outcome is assured. You know, I feel that here there is patience in knowing exactly what, maybe some of you it's as simple exactly what you want. Okay? And I find it very interesting because just like pile number 2, you have here a new moon energy and here a full moon energy. It seems that through the cycle of the cosmic dance, the dance between the sun and the moon, okay, you're building a strength more and more in regards to this power of shifting your reality. Because what I feel here is that, you know, in order to have this power of shift of what your reality is and becoming a match vibrationally to that dream, that goal that you have, I feel that some of you, it requires, you know, the exact knowing of what that is. And I do feel that it requires, it's not just like a goal like, I want to earn exactly this amount. I want this. There's something greater because you're working with the vibration, and it's the vibration of something that you're rehearsing. Okay. Can we have some details? Okay. Now this is where the cards here. It's like, what is this goal exactly? Because you're shape shifting. This is the dragonfly, an animal that spends 4 years in the nymph state before it becomes this beautiful expression. And I don't even know how long it lives in that expression, but I don't think it's as long as the nymph state. You know, it's almost like there's some messages here through that alchemy. Yeah, you're wow. Okay, that was, oh wow, the hag stone, energy shield, protection, and again, strength, but inner strength. Some of you, maybe you have a message also from pile number 2 if you're watching both Western and Draconic. But here it's the power of your heart that creates this shape shift. Oh, wow. So, because when I was looking at the goals, you know, and it's like, I was feeling like it's not going to be halo. It's something that it, like, you know, with a hole. Hollow. Thank you, Audrey. Okay. It's not going to be something that is devoid of meaning. Okay. And I feel, okay, so for some of you, if it is money, okay, you need to ask yourself, what is the money for? And not just like, oh, well, I have to pay my debt. Like, for example, student loan. Okay. Yes, that's like the physical, mental purpose. I need this amount. I want to manifest this, shapeshift my reality, shapeshift who I am energetically so I can pay my student loan. Now, your power is through the emotional gateway. And that means like, what will you feel when this happens? Okay? Oh, well, I will feel like so much lighter. because I won't feel this in the back of my mind. Now, when you're realizing, okay, so you're going to feel lighter. You're going to feel maybe proud. You're able to like pay something that give you, you know, your degree or whatever, and that you'll feel proud. You'll feel lighthearted, just less worried. Now, once you have all the emotions and the result of that fulfilled outcome, work with the emotions and see if you can rehearse them now. Can you find a way to be lighthearted? Can you find a way to worry less? Can you find a way to be proud of yourself now? And this is part of your power. Because you remember, you are someone, I feel like some of you are very strong empaths, to the point that you could absorb other people and how they feel, which will spiral you into shifting your reality or shaping it more into what others, people, mental or emotional and emotional patterns are. You know, you have to take ownership of this empathy and the power that comes with it. So then you can rehearse more of, through the heart gateway, more of the emotions that any of your goals feels like, okay? So you can rehearse all this in the now. And when the right time comes, because there's something about patience, it's almost like you're building up energy, and not any energy. Electromagnetic energy from the heart space. And that is so powerful, okay? So powerful. Can we get some more details that can help pile number 3 to work patiently with this process to harness more of their light, okay? How can they harness more of their light? Interesting. It seems that with the 6 of Cups and the 3 of Swords, there might be some emotional patterns from your childhood, things that broke your heart as a child, releasing those things, releasing grief, releasing sorrow, okay? If some of you have specific topic for, you know, anything that brought you grief, you know, go and work with the heart blockage frequency. Okay, I'm going to list it so I can put it for you somewhere here or down there below, the heart blockage. But I don't feel like that's part of the energy work. This is just if some of you have so much of that. Okay, that's something that you want, that is part, because you're working with your heart's gateway. If there is anything from your past in your childhood, that's going to be a block. That's going to be a block. Okay, that's going to be a block. What else do we need to know as far as activating pile number 3? Shape-shifting. Oh, wow. The death. This will create a rebirth. It fell right there. Okay. You need to, this is powerful alchemy. The dragonfly is such a powerful symbol of alchemy and transmutation. You need to transform from what you felt from your past. This will help you harness more and more of this light that, you know, it's almost like this light is, I'm hearing, timeless. It does not relate to the past. It only relates to the present moment. This is where it harnesses its power. So it's almost like it's asking of you to just build more strength in the moment through the power of your heart. And that means here there might be some things that we need to release. So I gave you the heart blockage for this. Okay, now that we know this, what do we need to work with for pile number 3's powerful shape-shifting activation? Every pile had the 8 of Cups. Okay. I'm going to pull more cards before I jump into my conclusion. If it's the same as pile number 1. And we have the Fool. once you remove those emotional, there's a transformation of a greater power, fire burning within you that allows you to move away from the past. And I feel for some of you with that strong empath, recognizing how people feel, maybe overly caring for other people's feeling in spite of your own, in spite of how it impacts your health, your wealth. And now we're creating this renewed energy, but not just energy, opportunity, new beginnings. Then we have the Queen of Swords. So we want to make sure that you're staying in your truth. And the shadow side. The temptation of going back to overly focus on the physical reality. This is the illusion, okay? So how we're going to help you here, I know. We're going to remove the X's and hexes because there's a lot of things from the past that needs to be purged. And in that frequency, I'm working with some very powerful alchemy, just like a potion, okay, to help transmute, okay? So we're going to work with removing X's and hexes. And as far as the mantra, I want you to work with the light body mantra. That's going, so through a field that has been tough, that has been energetically challenging, that you could feel so strongly, things that others didn't feel. And you had to find your way to untangle, detangle yourself, okay? We're going to bring this powerful mantra that brings I think the translation, it's the supreme light and the supreme mercy. It's like mercy and light. So through the power of your light, bringing this powerful energy that activates the light body. And then you can hold the mudra for your Muse Urania placement. So if it's Aries and Taurus, this is going to be your ring finger. If it's Virgo, it's going to be your pinky finger. And if it's Aquarius, it's going to be your middle finger. So for you, pile number 3, this is very interesting because you have the power to shift your life drastically through the power of your heart, through the power of being a strong empath. Yes, there is a road that requires you patience so you can recognize what are the exact things that I want to experience, not because of what my mind tells me it means, but from what my heart tells me it truly means. So that's what I have for you, my dear one. I trust this supported you. I don't know if there is a dragonfly, but you can drop me an owl or an eagle if that's your pile. I'm sending you much love and light. Bye.